you can sensationalize anything you want. There was a story about that Lars Sullivan at one point was supposed to be the NXT before me. It's never a thing. You know, it's all just, NXT apparently not high in Aleister Black. No. You know, the thing is, and it's frustrating because it puts us in a shit position because, you as fans, and I don't blame you for the most part, like that's the closest source of news that you have. But it's not a source of news. It's fabricated, and it's fabricated to make you think a certain way. It's programming your brain to like, oh, these mother effers, and a lot of times it's not right. Sure, there's times where, where it's right, but I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day too, right? So, and I always like the plans changed line. Yeah, that's like literally the biggest cop out in the world. As far as I'm concerned, I think I was spared for the most part. I think, despite those things, I think, there's clearly also good intent in some of them. But, there's the thing is like validating your sources and validating your stories versus just like blatantly putting out stuff that harms people. Taking effect a couple of weeks ago with my wife that harmed her so much. Nothing but hate comments and like often it's all because someone was like, oh, sign up to my Patreon and I have news, but in reality there was no news. There literally was no news. There was just, there was nothing, and it's like. It's the same people that all talk about being supportive and helping each other out and then doing stuff like that and don't realize the harm that they cause. And I blame people like that for that. I just don't I don't like that. It's and it doesn't have to be that way, and that's the same thing because it does more harm than good. I am definitely planning a visit back to the Netherlands. What was my plan? So I sat down a couple times with Hunter as well because I wanted to kind of like put the fire back on this character. And I did want to come back as a heel, and kind of like, jump up from that angle, and make sure that we can get the ball rolling. Because at the end of the day, I love being in this business. I love everything, even despite what I just said. Like we need people like that to an extent. You know what I mean? Like I love everything about this business. This business is absolutely great. It is the single best thing alongside marrying my wife that I've ever done in my life. Admitting so much, committing so much time to this, you know what I mean? And it's a process that not many people can understand, like, because we are professional athletes. Every essence of the, every part of what we do, every part of the road is, is that of a professional. We have to train a certain way, eat a certain way, and I think for the most part, you guys see 2% of a road. You see us in the ring for 10, 15, if we're lucky, 20 minutes. You see a promo here, you see a promo there. You don't see us drive away. You don't see us walk backstage, beaten up, sweating, getting feedback, sometimes getting yelled at, sometimes getting pads in the back, going to medical, getting yourself checked out, taking off your gear while you're hurting, taking a shower, everything hurt, your skin hurts, getting dressed up, go into your car, drive to the next town for 6-7 hours. The process will repeat itself again. You come home for, you have a 5 a.m. flight after 3 or 4 days of wrestling. You have a 5 a.m. flight, you go back home, you're exhausted. But now you have to do your laundry. You have to do your normal things, bills piling up. You have to pay your bills. You have to do groceries. You have to hit the gym. You have to take care of yourself. Mom, dad's calling, family's reaching out, see if you're okay. You're trying to have some essence of a life. Then at the same time, you're working. I never stop working. Even today, I've not stopped working. I'm always working. But excuse me about that. Month's coming up. whether that is clothing company, whether that is like continuation of what, like, obviously what we're doing here. It never stops. You're always, for 20 years, I've never not once not thought about wrestling. It literally consumes every aspect of my life. Currently thinking about like working on opening a wrestling school, and that was already in the process before today. Trying to find places and trying to like get all this stuff ready so that I can train, because I'm 36. I have a good 10 years in me. Because I also have to think about training the next generation of wrestlers, right? And I want that. I want to leave the wrestling business in a better spot, and it's it's something that I take great pride in, that I have a non-stop attitude. Like, I have, and I'm sure you've heard this. I've missed weddings, I've missed funerals, I've missed birthdays, I've missed my own birthday several times, because I'm always working. Whether that is in the ring, outside the ring, at home, working, on wrestling related stuff, creating content, creating this, creating that. We're always busy, I just spoke to Terry Taylor, who is one of the most influential people on my career. On like in this business. He's one of the people that has, like, I consider him to be a mentor of mine. He labeled so many small details on me that that you for the most part don't even realize, that I do. And like even talking to him and just him giving me the advice, and like, it's just a crazy thing to think about, like how much time this takes away from you. And that's like when you, I've had moments where like, and I don't really, I mean, I know you notice that I'm not the most active on social media. I'm not the most active on Twitter. I'm not the most active on Instagram. I'll post. I honestly, I rarely look at comments nowadays. Rarely, just because it's, but I think about like 6-7 months ago, there was a moment where someone went off, and I was like, well, I'm going to pay for your flight. Come here. Hang out with me for like 3 days. You'll go home screaming, because the work that we put in is unimaginable. And I'm not just talking about like wrestling training or like gym training, because it's so much more than that. You're always on the go. So I think for the most part, you as a fan base, you appreciate what we do, you appreciate who we are, and and that's the group that we focus on, and that's the group that I'm so thankful for. It's a strange world and a strange society that we live in nowadays, with how people view things, and especially this last year with like being a lockdown. I think too many people have too much time in their hands, and they're so continuously focused. And it also proves to you that a lot of people just don't have goals or like ways in their life, because they have a focus on all the wrong things. And I mean this from a good place, where like I hope that each and every one of you figures out what they want to do in life. Don't get stuck on the internet. Don't get stuck on Instagram, or like falling for what social media claims it to be, because it's not. The only person that's responsible for any type of career or any type of thing that you'll do in your life is you, right? You don't want to like wake up 20, 30 years from now going, why the crap did I spend so much time arguing with people on the internet, or getting so absorbed in shit that doesn't fucking matter, I just hope that you guys, you guys know that, and go continue with that, because I hope each and every one of you knows that like your potential in this world is like unlimited, right? Which is great. And it's difficult to go from from being stuck in a position to like finding something. That's very difficult. I know how that feels. Oh, one second, guys. I just gotta